Good evening, good evening. How are you? How are you? How are you? We always promise we want to do this, within time. So welcome. I will be giving us a minute or so. Just allow me to alert people who had told me to alert them once I go on. But welcome, welcome, welcome. As you come in, please let me know where you're watching me from. It would be nice to catch up. I know it's been a while since I was online. It's been an eventful season. I thank God I am blessed. Mindspa team, thank you so, so much for being here. We are waiting for people. If you can post also on the men's group, it would really be nice. Karibuni sana, karibuni sana. We give it a minute or so as I alert people, Mindspa, you can post on the men's forum. Thank you so much for anyone who is joining me in right now. Karibuni sana, karibuni sana. As you join in, please let me know where you're watching me from. Of course, nowadays we are doing this for 30 minutes. I like to keep it short and sweet. Today we are going to be talking about the drama in marriages. The drama in marriages. The drama in marriages. Tell you what, drama drama is real. I have been there. I have experienced it, and thank God I sailed through. I can confidently say that I have been able to sail through. So like you to just let me know where you're watching me from. I can see we are 6 is a good number. If you're here and you belong to any of our WhatsApp groups, the ladies forum, you can just alert everyone. We want to start. So let me know. Zara, thank you. But I thank God. It's the reason why you've not seen me for the last couple of weeks. But I thank God that I am there. So guys, I'm not going to really wait any longer. I think it's better that we start. The rest will catch up with us as we go on. So today I am just on a continuous series about stages in marriage. Sally Ogutu, welcome, welcome. Thank you for representing Embakasi. I'm glad to have you here. Call your friends, share the link. Let us come and learn. This is purely for free. I always say sometimes when you listen to these talks, they help you. They save you the cost that you would have been having, to go and sit down with a counselor. So invite a friend or two, let them come in and join. But as I said, we are going to be continuing. Barry, thank you. I missed you so much. I missed you guys. It's been like 3 weeks. I'm getting used to the name Dr. Venus Chengo. I thank God for that grace. I am here to serve, and I think, the more God elevates you, the more you're being called to serve. So I am here. Venus still works for me. I love Venus just like that, but with the title, yes, tutaendelea mbele. So karibuni sana. Today we are talking about marriage. And of course, it's a continuous, what I call psycho education about relationships. Linda, karibu sana. I'll be welcoming you in as you come in. And as I mentioned, you call your friends, call them, let them come and learn. This will save them a couple of thousands of shillings because when things hit the roof, what is needed is an expert. And by the time you're getting a marriage counselor, I can assure you the cost is not friendly. So karibuni sana, my bishop. I love that name, Dr. Chengo. Thank you so much for always honoring me, for always supporting me. Karibu sana. Let us invite our friends. If you're in a WhatsApp group and you know anyone stands to learn, please call them. Let them come here. But today, as I said, we're going to keep it short, sweet. 30 minutes of psycho education. I'm gonna hit this straight on the nail, and pick your pen and paper. Let us learn together. So if you're here for the first time and you're following through, please go back and refer to the other videos that I've been uploading. This is a continuous series about marriage and the pillars of marriage. Now, we talked about communication, and we are now in the stages of marriage. Initially, I talked about the honeymoon. You can go and watch that presentation. I think that was 3 weeks ago, where everything is just love. It's all roses. When you see this person, you're just, the chemistry is there. You guys are basically glued to one another. Okay? But after that, I always say the devil is a liar, and so are his demons. I don't know what happens, but the next stage is what literally proves if this marriage is meant to last. The drama stage is the worst stage ever in a marriage. Why do I say that? It is the roughest stage of a marriage. This is where you suddenly get revelation. This is where you realize, my God, you got married actually to the devil himself. Why am I saying that? During the drama stage, that is where both of you kind of like relax. Okay? You have gone through the lovey-dovey, you're trying to hide things. Of course, when you're courting, when you're going through the stages of courting, your courtship is just about, bringing out, the best you're always in makeup, But now, when you settle in the marriage, you realize, okay, you cannot, so you relax a little bit. The true self comes out. That is when you realize, my God, my man does not like showering. Or this one, he doesn't like, to brush too. That's the time you realize that this bed that you thought had roses is now showing signs of thorns. Okay? And when these thorns begin to come out, it's like your eyes open. You get a clear vision of who you married. This is a time where, reality hits the roof. Kate Henry, welcome. We are glad to have you. Call a friend. All right? This is a time where we realize that the bed has thorns. Because the roses have disappeared. Literally. It is a time where I hear people coming to the session and they tell me, I thought my partner was an angel, but I've realized that it's only angels who live in heaven, and angels actually do not have babies. Okay, so the drama stage is full of things that are unpleasant. And let me say this, there is no marriage that is excluded from the drama stage. Guys, let me say this, and I want to, for the believers in the house, all right? God does not discriminate. Nature as well does not discriminate. When it's time to, Mili karibu sana, call a friend, invite a friend. When a woman gets pregnant and it's time for her to give birth, she will go through labor pains. Unless, of course, now with technology, we have decided now we are going to be doing the, selective CS and all that because we don't want to go through the pain. But the process of giving birth is defined. You must go through labor. And there is no way you can stop that labor, that giving birth. If you do, that baby is gonna, what's gonna happen. Okay? So ideally, the same thing happens in marriage. You cannot say that, us guys, we're just in the honeymoon stage. That's a lie. If you ever see someone trying to put it out there like they're all perfect, I can assure you, as a counselor, as a wife, as someone who is walking the journey of marriage, I can assure you, even with the, all knowledge that we have, you must experience human beings in their element. And this is where you get to experience your person. The mask falls off. You get to realize this guy has secrets. This woman has secrets. This is the time conflicts and fights start. And these conflicts can last up to 12 years. Can you imagine? Can last up to 12 years. From the second, ideally we say, the normal, setup of or onset of, the drama stage is from 2 years. But let me say this as a disclaimer. Nowadays, a lot of us are getting involved with our partners intimately before we establish a grounded relationship. So what we are selling, thank you, Sophie, karibu sana, and much love to you. What we give out, sorry, and allow me to just drink water. I've been choked. 1 minute. So what we trade, sorry, oh my God. What we trade is, I'll just continue. My voice is going to pick up. What we trade is normally intimacy. Now, when you build your relationship on intimacy, if your currency in that relationship from the beginning is sex, let me assure you, that will not sustain you. Ladies in the house, when you're pregnant, you know sometimes this thing goes out the window. Yani, you just feel you don't want to be touched, you don't want. So what are you going to be exchanging in that marriage? What is the fuel that is going to keep this marriage going? To anyone who is listening to me right now, Karibu Caroline, to anyone who is listening to me right now and is in the stage of courting, Sister Neo, Karibu Sana, and you want to really establish a very grounded relationship, let me give you a secret. Try and start with the right, from the right, from the right thing. Use the right approach. God's mercy is karibu sana. Try as much as you can to establish a relationship based on things like communication. Liz, karibu sana. I can see you're found. Mokai, karibu sana. It's good to have you guys in here. It's been 3 weeks. I've missed you all. All right? So if you're here and you're kind of like you have a twisted perception and you feel you can exchange intimacy to have your partner give you the right attention, you're lost. When drama hits this relationship, it will actually, Masi karibu sana, it will start, we say 2 years, but this one will start from even 3 months. Why? You're now in a house. You're now having intimacy day in, day out. So the scales fall out sooner than expected. For those who don't really engage in that space, though someone the other day was telling me, my God, Venus, what are you teaching us? Hey, us guys, we want to know if our men are, if our wives are functional. We want to know if our men are functional. You know, you can get married to someone, you just could tell, like, you know, they don't have the right organs and all that. I was like, my God. Anyway, people have their own reasons. So if you start doing things early, things that are meant to be done after marriage, trust you me, the drama stage will start earlier. Now, someone will ask me, what are the feelings? How can I know, Venus, that I am going through drama stage? Key thing, if you are experiencing disappointment, if you're in a place right now where you are experiencing disappointment, you're in the drama stage. If you're experiencing despair, you are in the drama stage. If you're experiencing discouragement, you're in the drama stage. If you're experiencing some level of distress, you are definitely in the drama stage. It is during drama stage that your dreams are destroyed. And I want to say this. For anyone who is listening to me, I am very big on growing the self. I literally shudder when I hear someone telling me I am not moving on because my spouse, does this. My spouse. Did you get married to get stagnated? Somewhere along your path, God said, I'm going to give you a support system. But you are on your path to greatness. You are on the journey headed somewhere. When God created you, He gave you a purpose. He told you, Mercy, I am creating you. I'm going to make you a very, very profound teacher. Walk the journey. Along the way, I will bring a Mr. Sam. I will bring a Mr. John. He is going to be your support system. Now, at that junction where Mr. John or Mr. Sam comes in, we tend to lose it. And the same thing is true. Okay? Even for the men, you're told, I'm going to give you, Rose. I'm going to bring Jane. But as you walk through that journey, at that junction where Rose or Jane joins in, you lose focus. So what happens is you start now reacting to what John says. You start now living your life based on how John feels. You start now being a product of Jane. Yet, whether this person is there or not, your purpose remains. Now, when you're in this drama stage, what happens is you go through fights that are aimed at destroying your dreams. I've talked about temperaments. This is where temperaments come out. For the cholerics, because most of the time cholerics are very headstrong. So their narcissistic nature comes in. We have spouses who suffer from grandiose personality disorder, where they just feel like, I cannot do some things here. You're telling me to do what? You're telling me until we call a counselor to sit and talk about what? Me in my element. I talk about, you see, so you find that the characteristics that are coming here is like, it's an arrow after an arrow after an arrow. The person you expect to be supporting you will literally destroy every dream that you have. You want to start a business, he tells you no. She tells you, I don't think it's a good option for now, because you're in and out of fights. Now, one thing that I want us to note at this time is that it is during the drama stage that we get to see the real child experience. Now, let me say this. We are a product of what we went through in early childhood. There was so much that was happening to us that was mentoring us. Blessed Jano Karibu Sana. There was so much that was happening to us that we picked along the journey of growth. Let me say this. For the men who experienced or saw their daddies beating their mothers, it's very easy for them to do it. Because to them, that is what dad did. It is right. So that childhood experience predisposes this man. For the women who are brought up in single families, in setups, it is very easy during this drama stage to say, by the way, let me tell you, I saw my mother struggle for us and she made it through. I'm not going to sit here and watch you do this to me. I am quickly packing and I am abandoning this relationship. The childhood experience is very, very critical in molding a relationship, in molding a marriage. So when you see some things coming up during the drama stage, try and understand. And that's why I say, go and sit in with a marriage counselor. They will ask questions. They will prompt you. They will take you back to your childhood, where now we can get to see what was happening there. Anyone who used to be abandoned, when they tried to voice out their feelings, during this drama stage, when there's a lot of conflict, they will never give you an opportunity as a spouse to express yourself. The childhood experience comes up again. They will do exactly what they were done for when they were in their early stages of growth. They will walk away from you. Now, a lot of the times when we see, these things happening to us, we want to blame the devil. Let us not blame the devil for what he has not done. It is good to understand that a human being is made up of 3 components. The spiritual aspect, the second one is the psychological, and the third one is the physical. When we talk about abandonment, that is a physical element that is just brought out properly by the mind, how the mind is tailor-made. Okay? Some of the things that happen during drama are fights. And when I talk about violence, when you're angry as a person and you do not have mastery over your emotions, what we call emotional intelligence, when things do not go your way, Most of the time, what you're bound to do is to manipulate the relationship by introducing violence. And violence can be as simple as you shouting at the other person. That is already abuse, because you're interfering with how the other person will process or even express themselves. Okay? Mary karibu sana. You interfere because when a man or a woman shouts at, if you're shouting at your spouse, it makes them be taken aback and think, okay, is it really the right time to say what I want to say? Because you're breathing fire. And this person fears that the more probably they bring in a lot of criticism, the more you're bound to overreact, okay, and make the situation worse. So during the drama stage, there's a lot of violence. Name it, physical, psychological, okay? It is during the drama stage, karibu sana Helen, it is during the drama stage that it becomes very easy because of that lack of emotional intelligence. I see couples fight in public. I've not fought in public, but I've been very cold to my husband in public, because you get to a place whereby the emotions have really hit the roof. And it is at this point where you realize it, it's so funny. We say opposites attract, but we never finish that sentence. Literally, opposites attract and they also attack. So sometimes we say, oh, I love my husband, because he's just exactly the opposite. Yes, he's opposite. But during the drama stage, that opposite, he's the one who will attack you the most. In fact, sometimes you hear people saying, hey, who did I get married to? Like, this guy can literally try and bring me down. Everything about me. I want to go to school. He doesn't want me to go to school. I want to go and party with my girls. He doesn't want me to go. There are so many reasons that I'm being given. Karibu sana Rose, Ngolo, and Sally. I can see you. Okay? Now you're being given reasons. Oh, I don't want you to hang out with your friends. They're not good company. I don't want you to start school right now. We can't afford it. I don't want. The I don'ts are so many. Dama karibu sana. Okay? There are so many. This drama stage is full of all sorts of attacks. So fighting in public is a very easy thing, guys. Like, it's almost automated. And especially for those spouses who have no mastery over their emotions. So things normally start brewing in the house. So let's take it a very quick example. You're in the house, you have fought. And the way things are normally planned, okay, you have been invited for a wedding. So you will get into the car, you will drive to the wedding venue or where you're going, you're not in talking terms. When you get to the venue, you will sit somewhere, and if you woe unto you if you don't have company on that table, because now one of you has to pretend. We know how these things go. So you're there and everyone is watching, but you want to try and but it's not working out. And then the next thing, the person who has no emotional mastery is watching the other person. So case in point, if a woman is engaging more, probably the next person seated there is a man. And the spouse is watching. It's either the spouse will walk away and go and send messages, walk away, or go back to the house, or begin a fight with the other person. Now, the problem is that the third party is normally not aware of the things that are happening between both of you. So public embarrassment is normally the norm during drama stage. Have you seen, in fact, yesterday I was watching, is it a reel or something, about a lady who found the husband cheating on her in the car. She just took a spade. She took a spade, she hit that windscreen until all of it was down. Vincent karibu sana. All of it was down. She didn't care. She lost it. Now, what I'm talking about in drama stage is that people lose it. And when people lose it, very bad things happen. So fighting in public is a norm. When you see news and you're seeing people, someone was walking naked, please note that is the drama stage. It's the drama stage. It's just not that something has happened. Don't listen to these things of, it is. No. This couple has been going through series of, fights, and it's become intense. So now it's pouring out. It's like a fire starting in the house. Karibu Jocelyn, a fire starting in the house. And you're trying to contain it, but you don't have the right skills and tools. So what happens? You see smoke coming out. Agaflo karibu sana. You see smoke coming out. And eventually this house will blow. Okay? So ideally, that is what I'm saying. Fighting in the public is normally a ripple effect of what has been happening in the house. The thorns have become too much. Drama is drama. People take guns and, they want to, analogically, to try and shoot each other. The other symptoms that is manifested during drama stage is overreacting. And especially for us women, we just overreact to anything. You're told something, you start crying. You're told, because ideally, and this I want to say here without fear of, contradiction. A lot of us wait when you see drama. By the way, I've already warned you. Whether you're new to, to a marriage or whatever, the drama stage can last up to 12 years if you're, if you don't work on it. Now, the problem is that most of the people who come in for counseling will come in when they have gone through 6 years or 7 years of drama. The relationship is basically breaking down. It's damaged. Okay? And what you're looking at is quick solutions. So I find couples coming in and they're like, okay, fine, we are willing to do our session. So they'll come in for the joint session. And then normally I say each of you take at least 2 sessions each so that we come and assess how far, what are the improvements, are we making progress? Are we changing? As I always say, and I've said this before in all the videos that I have done, you can never give what you don't have. If you're damaged, you cannot come in and give positivity. You will bring in the toxicity. Okay? So ideally, if you're in a marriage and you're finding that you're always fighting, try and, kind of like, relax and reflect. What is going on in me? Why am I a trigger to my spouse? Because you can't just wake up and say, okay, fine. Now today I just feel like I want to disturb no. You must be mentally disturbed if you want to disturb other people's peace. Now, a lot of us women, and I want to speak here as a woman, not as a counselor, I will speak here as a wife. When you take in so much, okay, over time, and then you keep on getting the triggers, it is so easy for you to break down. Literally everything this person says kills you. You're always crying, you're always whining, you're always disappointed, you're always in despair, you're always in all these things that I've said, the 4 Ds. They become your everyday life's experience. And without knowing, to the other person, they will call it an overreaction. But for you, you will feel like, I am just at the end. Because drama is not pleasant. Drama is not pleasant. Anything that happens in drama is normally towards killing the marriage. So if you're not well informed, and that's why I'm very passionate about giving this education, because some of us may not even be able to afford the counseling services. But if you listen to this advice, if you listen to this talk, if you listen to this is psychoeducation, you're able to be more aware in the marriage. You know how to circumvent, you know how to navigate through when these things are happening to you. Okay? Women can be very manipulative also during the drama stage. Men nowadays, I thank God that nowadays men cry. So these tears are normally, I call them manipulative tears, where an argument starts and then one person decides, this is too much. So you start crying. And of course, by the time you're crying, the other person will not be able to really fully express themselves as they would. So tears are normally used a lot of the time to do what? To manipulate the argument. Okay, watch out for these signs. And if you're here and this is, something that is happening to you, do not worry. I am just about to give you solutions. Let me say this: faith is accompanied by action. PK, karibu sana. We were waiting for you. Faith is accompanied by action. You cannot listen to this and walk away and not go and do anything, especially if you're finding yourself in the drama stage. I am giving you this information so that you can go and save your marriage, make it beautiful, enjoy. You see, when you look at the Bible, and allow me to just borrow from the Bible, when God was creating Adam and Eve, he placed them in a very beautiful garden. Now, that is a garden God has always intended us to be. If you're in a marriage and you're going through hell, you're in the seventh, or you're on the seventh chamber of hell, you're literally inhaling smoke, black smoke, and dying. You're not living within God's plan. God's plan was that we enjoy one another. We are able to procreate. He brought out his mind. Okay? Boniface Karibu, he brought out his mind as our God, as our creator, as the genius behind our being. Okay? So ideally, I want us to know this. In as much as marriage goes through drama, it is not God's will that the drama is prolonged. That is why Venus is here today. I want you to starve those things that have been triggering your marriage into a place whereby you just don't feel you want to coexist with the other person. Okay? The other habit that you will find during drama stage is this one. I am sure we can relate with it. Withdrawing sex. Karibu sana Peter. Withdrawing sex. Where you just feel like, now, with me, I don't have emotions. So you feel now, we can always fast physically. We can always fast. Now, let me give you a secret. Intimacy is a place of bonding. Intimacy, sexual intimacy heals. If you're the kind of person, and let me say this, I think I should also say that karibu sana gaming kids. I can get an easy doctorate for doing this when I was young. Where you just feel like, why should this person, you even don't want that toenail to touch you. You feel like it's the devil poking you, so you want to really, you want to distance. I always say during drama stage, that's the time we create a fence that that has, like some electrical, so that the other person, if they touch you, it's like, it's a death certificate. You just don't want. Now, drama stage is full of this. And if there's anything that kills a marriage, is using sex as a weapon. There's the feeling, but there's also the body. The body is very intelligent. I want to ask you guys, who taught you to have sex? Who taught you? Were you taken to a school? One day your body demanded for a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and you started hiding yourself, and you found yourself. No one taught you. It was almost natural. Now, how is it that you're in a marriage, God has given you a partner that you can enjoy with, and then when the body is telling you, today, I want to be fed. I want to, you're busy there suppressing. And then the next thing you're crying, oh, I don't feel loved. Oh, I feel rejected. Oh, I feel lonely. Guys, in fact, if there's any time I would advocate for people to bond more, to have sex more, it is when you're having drama. Because that just, breaking the ice, coming in together and saying, okay, fine, I don't really resonate with you right now, but can we enjoy this thing? Do you know it literally breaks you as a person? There's something powerful about physical intimacy. I think it is, I don't know, but I always say it's God's way of breaking us as people. So if you're there and you're always using this as a weapon, I really pity you. Oh, I really pity you. Let me say that. Because you will be forever frustrated. You will forever die with your desires. Because you're too arrogant. I can't do this. We are not talking. We are not. Hey, if you're sleeping in the same bed, please enjoy. Tomorrow wake up. If you don't want to communicate, deal with that later. But at least make sure you're stable. Because if you're having emotions building up, sexual desires building up, where are you going to take them? Are you going to use soap? Are you going to use a dildo? What are you going to use? And why would you want to have intimacy with an object? Am I making sense, guys? So this thing of using sex as a weapon is a no-no. Please, let us try and be better so that we can make this stage as short as possible. Now, I want to talk about erratic behavior. This is one thing that I say that your partner is a bit unstable mentally. I find this erratic behavior kind of like pegged to people who are mental. And when I say mental, I don't want to exaggerate it because I don't want you to think of, oh my God, maybe this person needs to go into a mental hospital, get admitted there, be given drugs and all that. No, that's not what I mean. I mean that sometimes, you can have certain conditions that are being brought in or are they come about because of too much irregularity. You're not really regulating your feelings. So something in your brain just, tweaks and that's it. Now, when you find you're fighting and someone is destroying things. You remember when I was talking about a woman who literally, used a spade and brought down the windscreen of the husband's car. This is what we call erratic behavior. Why does this behavior come about? People lose themselves. And I always say, do not allow anger to accumulate during the stage of drama. Because if you do, this is the resulting behavior. You will take something, an object, you will try to hit your partner. You will take, something, you want to harm your partner. That is erratic behavior. Guys, can we adapt to emotional intelligence? It is okay to fight. But at this point where you're fighting, take care of your health. Go somewhere and think about yourself. Because ideally, you will only come in and contribute what is inside your heart. So go calm yourself, talk to yourself, reason. Empathy is so important, guys, when it comes to marriage. Try and wear the other person's shoes. Try and understand where they're coming from. Okay? When you wear that shoe, it is easy for you to talk with a calm mind. It is easy for you to have wisdom. But when you don't have empathy, when you feel you're the one who is right always, when you feel you're the one who should be, heard and the other person should be quiet, it ends up now throwing your feelings all over. All right? And that is where now you start seeing people doing very funny things. People leaving WhatsApp groups, people, blocking each other, people, all these things that people do during drama stage. All right? So make sure you master what I'm telling you. Your own mental health is important. During this drama stage, that's when you should be looking for Venus. That's when you should be looking for a counselor near you. That's when you should be going to a money counseling center. Sit there, guys, depending on how much you're willing to. I always tell people, when people come to me, I say, okay, fine. Even if you can't afford my services, you go and look for a counselor who can give you those services. They are needed. It is important that you actually get to sit with a counselor and they take you through psychological first aid. Without doing that, and you being in a place where there's so much trigger, your partner is always poking you, using the thorns. We're talking about, the thorns in this marriage now coming up. So a thorn is thrown at you, it pricks you. Another thorn. Now these thorns even grow into arrows. Eventually you will die. You will bleed to death in that marriage. It is the reason why people, The other day, someone was telling me a very, very sad story. And allow me to just share here because it's just almost 2 weeks, I think, ago, if not less. A guy who had married some lady and they had one child. But the lady was violent, psychologically abusive. Okay? So what happened is this guy got to the end. He never had a forum. He never had a counselor. He never had friends he could go and talk to. And I know men are very, very particular. They're very, they really like to, share their feelings where there's, it's a safe space. So he didn't have that safe space. What does he do? He goes to the park. He sits somewhere. The mother lived next to the park. So he sits somewhere. He had already written his suicide note. He took a gun and blew his brains off. The reason for suicide? The wife is abusive. Now, I want to say this, guys. Today, if we are invited for nyama choma, if we're invited for parties, it's easy for us to really, have the money to buy gifts, have the money to go and buy something nice. We treat ourselves to fast food and everything. But when you go and see a therapist and you're told this is the fee, you're like, hey, my God. So let me tell you, and get it from me, because I have sat down with people in prison. I have tried to cancel people across the board. I travel to go and benchmark. Let me tell you, if you never invest in your mental health, I can always foretell your end. Because as I said, you'll have the money, you'll have the cars, the houses, but you'll not have life. There's nothing as bad as having wealth, physical health, and you're popping a pill to sleep. You must take alcohol to sleep. There is nothing as bad as that. That you're looking at things that you've really stretched yourself to acquire. But the one thing that you need after all is said and done, you cannot have it. You will sit down, you will do things, you'll go to the gym. You cannot sleep because your mind is telling you, I am not okay. And your mind literally shuts off any transmission that happens in the brain. So your hormones are not working well. You have to get other extra things to try and sleep. Guys, let me tell you, it's good to be wealthy. Even me, I aspire to be very wealthy. But the number one wealth should be your mental health. Invest in it. Pass it on to your children. It is the most important thing. Okay? So we have talked about the 6 things. And part of also what I want to say is that during this stage of drama, there's a lot of judging each other. There's a lot of being selfish, where someone just feels, I'm annoyed, so I don't want to talk to you. I will not have sex with you. It's selfishness being manifested here. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of hurt. This is the place where people have regrets. I have been there. And I have sat down and I've said, why did I get married to this person? What made me even choose this person? You ask yourself questions. And when you're asking these questions, you're very serious about it. It's not something that this is something that for sure you don't want to do. So that hurting, those judgments that we give each other, the reality that is there makes you feel like you cannot go on. Okay? But I'm sure some of us can attest to this. In as much as, yes, it is a painful thing, there are solutions. And because of time, I said 30 minutes, but allow me to just, add another 3 or 4 minutes just to explain the solutions. And even as I do so, if you're here and you're going through issues, please walk to the nearest therapist. Okay? Get counseling. If you want to come to Venus for me, you have to wait 7 to 10 days after you pay, and we will do. And for me, I go for quality. And I want to say this, all of us are trained to give quality. Okay? Number 1, for a marriage to work, you must change your perspective. Try and change your perspective. For those people who are here and they feel they're always right, how about just moving from that mindset and saying, I am going to work on myself. Maybe I'm the one with the problem. See yourself as the problem. Stop pointing a finger at your partner. Because the moment you show the other person you're judging them, they take a step back. It's like you're crucifying them. So they shy away and they say, it's like I'm the one who is bringing problems to this marriage. So what do? They withdraw. This is the time where infidelity checks in. Whenever we are seeing these anger bouts and all that, it gives people reason to go and I want to say this, I'd lost network. It's about seeking refuge, okay? Most of the people will cheat because we are social beings. And if in the home where you're nesting, where you're supposed to be, you're not being accepted, you're not being affirmed, someone out there will do it. Men, learn to compliment your wives, even if they don't. Just saying they look beautiful does magic. Women, the same. Learn to really cheer on your husbands. Cover their nakedness. We can never be perfect. But when we learn to give each other encouraging words, when we are positive, it makes someone remember. During this drama stage, someone will just stay on and say, you know what, I'm just going to be here because this woman, literally believes in me. I know we are not in a good place, but her words, whatever she has told me, makes me just want to work on the marriage. Now, if you're breathing fire, you're a dragon there. Even if a lion came out, you will run away. So if you're playing the lion, how would you expect your spouse to be there? They will run away. And they will go and get somewhere where they're given shelter and comfort. And they will stay there. Marriage can never be solved by these things that we see doing. Using sex as a weapon, anger, judging one another, being selfish. Trust you me, those things don't work. They have never worked. I always say numbers don't lie. I love research and statistics don't lie. If you feel that, you would use these weapons and you feel like, silent treatment, for us, women, we love silent treatment. You're so toxic. Sorry, my network is a bit unstable. It's raining. You're so toxic that people would not even want to see you, to hear you, to be near you. So allow yourself to talk. Don't use silent treatment as a way of trying to manipulate your way through. I've learned this the hard way, as I always say. And we are always growing by the day. No one is perfect, guys. No one is perfect. So change your perspective. The rule of the thumb is always work on yourself and pray for your partner. I'll repeat that again. I was taught this by my pastor. Work on yourself and pray for your partner. If you've listened to my other videos, I always say, you can never change. Hi, Cynthia. You can never change a man or a woman who has her own 32 teeth. You cannot change them. You are not there when these molars, premolars, canines, and whatever they were growing. So don't ever think that you can pluck them. This is someone who has already been formed. Their mindset has already been shaped. They are grounded. Thank you, blessed. So what you need to do is you just change your perspective. Pray for your partner. Work on yourself. Always ask yourself, could I be the one causing this drama? Could I be the one who is making this marriage take this direction? Assess yourself. Before we even start assessing the triggers, assess yourself. How are you contributing to this marriage? Number 2, commit to fight fair. This thing of taking knives, spoons, children, and you're using them against one another is totally uncalled for. Maturity means you commit to fight fair. All right? Look for the appropriate time. Of course, people will hit the roof and all that, but look for the appropriate time. And if that appropriate time is not coming through, reach out to your pastor, reach out to your therapist, reach out to someone that can come in and sit in as a mediator between both of you, because during drama stages, like both of you lose it. Both of you are mad. Okay? It is your anger against your partner. So you cannot calm each other. Look for someone who can come in and talk sense into you. Marriage can never work just the two of you. I want to say that it takes God. And besides that, you must have a support system. You must have a couple that is mentoring you. Okay? Very, very important. Guys, you must have a couple that is mentoring you. They basically help you navigate life. They will teach you things and it will save you the pain of going through certain situations. So identify someone that you share values with. At least during those times when you're unstable, go to them. Allow yourself to be naked emotionally. Tell them this is what we are going through. We are not having sex. We have not been sleeping in the same bed. We have not, say it. You must undress emotionally for you to be addressed. Can I say that again? You must undress emotionally for you to be addressed. This thing of you want to just look like, oh, I'm perfect. Oh, you're there, you're having selfies. I love my body. And things are falling apart. Can never work. So commit to always fight fair. And fighting fair is trying to get people who can help you through the conflict. Okay? Now, during communication, and if you're here for the first time, check out what we talked about, when it comes to communication. During communication, try and communicate clearly. Communicate logically, not using emotions, because emotions can distort a message. Because when you want to say something and then you realize that this guy, has been hurting me, hey, that's the time you start hitting the table, what we call now erratic behavior. All right? You start hitting the table because now it's your emotions that have taken over. All right? So ideally, guys, you need to first know there must be a boundary between, you have a meeting with your emotions first, and then now after you have finished with having that meeting, now go sit down with your partner and communicate clearly from a place of logic. This is where, and this is what I want you guys to note. You must know your patterns. You must know your triggers. What keeps on taking you to that space where you are having drama? Is it words that trigger you? Because I hear sometimes couples saying, he said this and it made me feel like this. Check out what triggers you. Is it something that someone keeps on doing? He comes home late. He is always on the phone. These things are out in the open. They are repetitive in many, many marriages. He does not touch me. What is your trigger? Identify those patterns. Once you know it is the cat that meows that makes me unstable, the next time this cat is trying to meow, you will shut it. You will shut it up. Okay? You will suffocate it. All right? If you identify it is because, the phone rings in the midnight at the midnight hour, then that phone will be put off. Why do we want to act as if we are blind? Yet the things that happen are very, very repetitive. Today, I want to give you an assignment. Once we are done, and probably tomorrow when you wake up, just try and think through. Especially if you're in this stage, what are the things that really trigger you? Because they are things that are repetitive. Every time he comes home late, you silent treatment. Every time, she talks to me rudely, silent treatment. Those are the triggers that I'm talking about. That thing that is done that makes you start behaving abnormally. And abnormally is because you're trying to hurt. How it made you hurt and what they can do better next so that you don't get yourselves in the same place. Okay? And then the last one, and because of time, I will pick up on what is remaining as I go on to the next stage in the next Sunday, God willing. The other thing is that commit to stay in the marriage. For those of us who want to run away, unless you've been beaten and there's violence, where are you going? Because that other person you're going to get married to, or you will still go through drama stage. No one is exempted. Whether you're a pastor, whether you're a bishop, whether you're what, no one is exempted from this stage. It takes emotional intelligence. It takes knowledge. It takes the help of counseling to go through this stage. You cannot do it on your own. Think of drama stage, a place whereby you're in a wrestling ring and you have been beaten down. Both of you. And you need people to come and help you stand and get back to your feet again. So don't ever think, I hear, and this is, I'm not being biased, but men, a lot of men say, me, I don't need counseling. As a man, I don't feel I need counseling because you're the one who is emotional. As a woman, you go for the session. Just go and be attended to. It takes both of you. It takes both of you. All right. So because of time, guys, I don't want to hit the hour. I can see I've done 55 minutes, but let me just say this. It is really, really a pleasure to be back again. For those of you who looked for me for the last 3 weeks, you do understand what was going on. I thank God for this new milestone. And again, I would like to say this. If you're going through issues, please contact us. I believe my team has already put the number on the phone. If you know someone who is going through issues, mental issues, marriage, personal, push them to come in for therapy because counseling works. As I said before, the best kind of investment is mental health. I can never put it any other way. When you have wealth and you end up dying by suicide, you yourself, you decide, I don't want to be in this world, but you have been fighting to accumulate wealth. That money you are accumulating will never be buried with you. In fact, it is other people who are going to come and squander it. So ideally, start with the right things. Get that stability mentally so that even as you're engaging anything that is coming to you as a blessing, you're able to embrace it very well. Hi, Favored Sese. We are just finishing up. So that said and done, guys, it's been amazing just having this session. Thank you so much for creating that time to literally come here and learn. I hope every other day you're getting something new, even if it's one item. If you just even learn one thing, I am totally grateful for it. And that's why I create this platform, so that those who are not able to, really get in and talk to the therapist, you can be able to hear this and it will transform your life. So that said and done, allow me to end the session for today. Looking forward to next week's session. We are on a continuous series about the pillars of marriage. Please do not miss. Favored Sese, ulichelewa, but next time be early. We start at 8:30. My intention is to have it 30 minutes today. I've extended, but yes, it's nice. Kuchelewa sio kunini. At least you've had one or two things. All right. So you can always catch up with this later on. Yes, Favored. It should be uploaded in the next maybe couple of minutes. So thank you so much. You can always also feel to give us feedback if there's anything you want us to talk about in the future. Don't feel shy. Drop into my inbox. Let me know how I can be of help to you. I am always here for you. Mine is to invest in you, because when you have the right mindset, we know the society at large will be stable. Why? In here are gonna be bosses, they're CEOs, they're what? So you'll have healthy environments for people who you relate with. That said and done, God bless you so much. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.